Back in 2017, the gaming landscape changed with the release of Breath of the Wild. The then newest Zelda game did revolutionise open world gaming with its living, breathing open world that was full of discovery and wonder, only for Tears of the Kingdom to top it a couple of years ago. The game inspired a lot of open worlds and games, and you can see its inspiration in many games since, such as Elden Ring and the very underrated Immortals Phoenix Rising, to name but a few. But for as amazing as the game was, the technical issues did hold it back. Whether it was on the base Wii U or on the Switch itself, the game at launch and post several patches still struggles in certain areas. It's still playable, but it is quite noticeable. So with the game now coming out on Switch 2 with a new upgrade, let's see how it improves the game, shall we? And let's get into it. First off, I'm going to say this, I'm not going to review the game entirely, as we all know what the game is like. There's hundreds and thousands of global reviews out there. You don't need me to tell you how amazing this game is again. But I'm going to talk about the Switch 2 upgrade itself and what it adds and how it improves the game. So let's get into it. The biggest elephant in the room, like with most Switch games, is the performance, and Breath of the Wild was solid. It had issues, but most notably in the Korok Forest, where the game would and still drop in significant numbers in frame rate. The game aims for 30 FPS, whilst upwards of 720p handheld and 900p docked, and the game certainly did and still looked great, though the frame rate did suffer, especially in Korok Forest. With this Switch version, it comes out the gate with a silky smooth 60 FPS that looks and runs gloriously without a dip in sight, and yes, that means Korok Forest. The game also runs at 1080p in handheld and 4K docked, so that's super impressive. Add in HDR and the game really does pop on the screen, whether it's handheld or on the TV, and it really does pop if you have it on an OLED TV. The game does look noticeably better than its Switch counterpart, and whilst the graphics and performance upgrade is definitely a nice improvement, the game is now starting to show its age a bit. I mean, it is a Wii U game after all, and some textures really do look rough in places. Whilst the majority of the time it does look great and the visuals do pop, there are some areas where it looks a little lower res, so it would have been nice if they did a little bit more to it, or maybe actually fully remastered it for the Switch 2. The game also has improved loading, and to be honest, the original game on Switch, the loading was actually really reasonable, and the Switch 2 loading now is just around about 5 seconds, which is a healthy difference, but for me, the loading in the original was never really an issue. Another welcome inclusion is an extra save file, so you can start your adventure again without having to sacrifice your completed save file. It's a small touch, but it goes a long way. As for other new additions, they're actually not on the game. They're on your phone using the Nintendo Switch mobile app. The app syncs with your game and points out points of interest, collectibles, and the like. You also have these Zelda notes, which are little anecdotes that adds extra history to the world and story, and they're a nice little welcome addition, but not necessary to enjoy the game, and it kind of does take you out of it a bit. There's also extras here, as I said, to help you get that elusive 100%, which is handy, but it's a pretty old game now, so most people will probably know the world like the back of their hands. There's also like a daily buff to your weapons as well, which is handy. The Zelda note stuff is fine, but isn't really needed, and using your phone constantly does break the immersion. Handy for some, but thankfully optional. As for the release, you can get a physical edition with the Switch 2 upgrade included on the cartridge, or buy the upgrade separately from the eShop for £8 or $10 dollars. Thankfully, if you're a Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass member, you get the upgrade for free. Unfortunately, the DLC doesn't come with any of these releases, so you have to buy that separately, which comes across as really greedy and pretty pathetic, and I don't know why Nintendo didn't just bundle it up. But anyway, conclusion time now, and Breath of the Wild on Switch 2 is that same great, amazing game that you played 8 years ago, but with a much needed technical improvement, like a fine 4K Blu-ray. It's that same wonderful experience, but looking at and playing better. The 60 FPS and the boosted in resolution is the main draw here, and everything else is a nice little extra. The Zelda notes are perfect for newbies, and it's just a bit of nothing for old hands. It's worth another trip to Hyrule and a worthy upgrade for a classic game. The game still remains a stone cold classic, and if I scored it now, I'd say it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I still prefer Tears of the Kingdom, but for you it might be a 10 out of 10. It's a brilliant game nevertheless, but for the upgrade itself, it is an 8 out of 10. As always, thank you ever so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. You stay safe, take care, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye.